On episode 24 of the podcast, we go and see Crazy Rich Asians, written by Kevin Kwan, Peter Chiarelli, Adele Lim, directed by Jon M, starring Constance Wu, Henry Golding, Michelle Yeoh, Gemma Chan, Lisa Liu, and Awkwafina. Welcome to He Said, She Said Movie Reviews. This is the podcast where a happily married couple with similar but different movie tastes take a quick look at the movies, helping you make the right decision before your next movie. I'm your host, Tim.
And I'm April. Does Crazy Rich Asians deliver? Come on back after the trailers to find out.
So the first trailer we saw with this movie was What Men Want. This is a remake of the Mel Gibson's What Women Want. A woman is boxed out of the male sports agents in her profession, but gains an unexpected edge over them when she develops the ability to hear their thoughts. Once again, this is a remake of the Mel Gibson What Women Want, starring Taraji P. Henson.
And the second trailer was Second Act. It's all about a big box store worker. She reinvents her life and her life story and shows Madison Avenue what street smarts can do, with Jennifer Lopez and Vanessa Hudgens from High School Musical. And it looks good, very similar to the old Working Girl and or Baby Boom type of a movie.
So the movie we're covering today is Crazy Rich Asians. This is a movie directed by Jon M, who gave us Step Up 2 in 3D and Justin Bieber's Never Say Never, G.I. Joe Retaliation, and Now You See Me Too. And written by, it's adapted from the book of Kevin Kwan, who wrote the book, and by Peter Chiarelli from Now You See Me Too in The Proposal, and Adele Lim, who is a TV writer who did several episodes of One Tree Hill, Lethal Weapon, Life Unexpected. This movie stars Constance Wu, Henry Golding, Michelle Yeoh, Gemma Chan, Lisa Liu, Awkwafina, and a whole host of other actors and actresses.
Yeah, some aren't listed or aren't billed very often or very much, but there's still some real treats in this movie.
So this movie is kind of, it's similar along the lines of Pretty Woman, kind of, sort of. It's all about a kind of a rags to riches type of story for a woman who falls in love with a wealthy gentleman.
Well, now I'm going to stop you right there because, and I'm not going to try to get upset here this early in the podcast, but in Pretty Woman, the girl was a hooker, and this woman is an economic professor at an Ivy League college, correct?
Correct, but it's still, she came from poverty, so to speak, a single mother.
Yes, she did,
by her own,
and she made it. I was just trying to say that, you know, I really want to be careful about the analogy of her success in her profession compared to Julia Roberts in Pretty Woman. Even though I loved Pretty Woman, I'm just saying. All
right, you just said. So what else do you want to say about this movie, April? You really enjoyed this.
I did. You know, my only thing I'm going to say, and I'm going to say right up front, it was a little slow for me.
Yeah, the second act was slow. I thought the opening was good. The first act was fine, and the third act was great, but it slowed down during the second act.
It did. And the one thing I could go back, I wish they had dived a little deeper into their relationship. Yeah. Early on. It just, boom, we sat down and it just started them in their relationship, but it didn't go backwards.
Yeah, that was my big complaint, that we didn't get any kind of back. The two main characters were Rachel and Nick, and we started right deep into the middle of their relationship, where he wanted to take her home to meet his parents. I can say that right. Wanted to meet his parents, but we never got how they met, what their relationship was. Right. A big thing in the movie was with his family was he was gone from Singapore for so long, and they never addressed that. Maybe they do in the book, but in the movie they did not address why Nick was in New York and away from Singapore and his family.
But I will say, yes, I enjoyed this movie very much. So did my daughter. We really enjoyed it. But I have to say, I'm just going to jump right in. The sets were incredible. This movie was absolutely beautiful. I'm going to get to Singapore as soon as possible. It was absolutely beautiful. And the wedding scene, I don't think I've ever seen anything more beautiful. It just was stunning. There's no other word.
Yeah, I have to admit the wedding scene was one of those. It was very much eye candy, very spectacular, great special effects in there. It shows you what, if you have millions of dollars, what you can do at a wedding.
Absolutely. I think that's a really good thing to point out. I want to talk about the chemistry of the cast. I always look for that. It was spot on. The male and female lead character, it was so believable. Their relationship, how they communicated. I ended up really, feeling for both of them. That was great. I enjoyed the friends. I didn't enjoy one other part, and that was the whole bachelor party thing. And I don't want to give too much away.
Yeah, it wasn't, as everyone knows, April is a devout feminist here, but the bachelor party wasn't demeaning at all for women. It was just, it was more demeaning for the men who were in the scene. So, but it was kind of silly. But
yes, agreed.
I thoroughly enjoyed the cinematography in this movie, the shots of the city line of Singapore and just the natural beauty of the islands surrounding Singapore. It was a very beautiful movie to look at. And
also, too, about a smart woman. I enjoy those. I enjoy movies that portray women strong as they are in everyday life, in every profession they're in, and every job that they have, whether it's outside of the home, inside of the home. I liked how the story unfolded after it began and how they closed it.
Yeah, so the theme in this movie was love conquers all.
Definitely.
And it certainly did in this movie.
Yeah, it really did. And I enjoyed it. There were a couple of things in there that I thought were, exaggerated. How much women can be rude to each other. I thought it was exaggerated. But I have to say, the relationships, though, were great.
Wait, let's go back to what you just said. Are you talking about the one scene that they took straight out of The Godfather?
Yes, it was ridiculous. Yes.
If you see the movie, you'll understand, but this time it's not a horse, it's a fish.
Right. But if you want to see a movie that you're going to enjoy and it's about relationships, friendships, there's good in there, there's pain, there's just every kind of emotion. It's a good one. We really did. Now, it is a little slow. That is my little disclaimer there. But I really, really enjoyed it. And I want to say that, the editing, it wasn't choppy at all. The pace, and it slowed down. It's true during the second act, but I want to talk about the score. A lot of Western songs with Chinese lyrics. It was catchy, and I just really enjoyed it.
Yeah, hearing the Beatles' Money, that cracked me up. I thoroughly enjoyed that. And there was also one of the scenes when they first arrived in Singapore where they went to a open air market, kind of like a farmer's market where all the food and street vendors are. That was a really cool scene. I love seeing all the cuisine. And they actually made the Chinese cuisine, a big part of the movie.
Absolutely. And of course, it's no secret. My family is a foodie family. We love to cook, love to eat all kinds of food. And it just made us not just want to go there, but pull out our cookbooks and do some home cooking here.
So I guess it's time to rate this movie. April, what are you going to rate it as?
You know what? I'm going to give it sometimes this is hard. I wish we just did it thumbs up or thumbs down. I'm definitely, I know that's not a popular
That's
thing
what
to
Netflix
say.
did, and it doesn't tell you anything about the movie.
No, you're right. Now I'm going to hear from someone for saying that, or a couple people. I'm going to give it, because of so many other things, I'm going to go ahead and give it a 3. I'm going to say a 3.5, because I really did enjoy the plot and the actors and actresses. I thought it was great. But again, I'm going to stick with the 3, I think.
And I'm also going to give it a 3, but I'm going to put a little asterisk next to this. We've got some friends who do a movie review podcast too, Mike and Brad, who do Movieisms podcast. And I was listening to them talk about today what's a good movie and what's a bad movie. This was not a bad movie. I cannot say this was a bad movie. It wasn't a movie for me, though. It wasn't a movie I liked. I like a good rom-com, but this one, I didn't care for it. It was just too much of a chick flick for me. And
I think that's fair to say.
Leave your boyfriend home, grab your girlfriends, and go see this movie, but don't take your guy to it. It's a lot of estrogen in this movie.
All right, and I think that's fair. I think Hope and I would have enjoyed it just fine by ourselves.
My original thought was I was going to give it a 2, but I can't, because it's not a badly made. It's not a bad movie. It's not badly made. It was a good movie.
I hear
it's
you.
just not a guy's movie. So I will give it a 3 too. But I wish I'd stayed home for it.
All right. Well, I'm glad I went, and my daughter's very glad we went. She would rate this movie definitely at a 4 or 4.5.
I think she might have given this a 5. So.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I'm going to stick with, I think I'm going to say 3.5.
She thoroughly loved the movie.
But we're going to wrap this up really quickly. We're on our way to the Macon Film Festival. We are so excited and appreciate the opportunity to cover it in the press. And we just are really excited about meeting everyone, not just the stars, but the directors, the screenwriters, and everyone else we're going to meet.
Yeah, really looking forward to the Macon Film Festival in Macon, Georgia. And if you haven't already done so, please go out to hesaidshesAidmovies.com/subscribe and subscribe to the podcast. And hey, while you're out there, go ahead and sign up for our weekly newsletter where we will send you the list of the upcoming movies for this weekend.
All right, and I just want to say we will see you at the movies, and we'll look forward to it.
See you at the movies.